Good morning, Andy from Ships Physio here. Today I'm going to talk about one small piece of work that can be very useful for helping people to get back on their feet. Very straightforward exercise, so I'm just going to show it to you, and just about anybody hopefully can have a go at this. If there's any problem with particularly getting out of a chair, getting up standing again, and staying upright when you're already up. So bear in mind this is a very general exercise and you might need some very specific advice or help in order to really make things work for you. But here goes. The exercise starts from sitting, maybe well back in a chair, what have you. I'm using a wooden bench. And the idea is to get forward so that the top end of the forearm sits nicely just behind the kneecap. So sometimes it's helpful to do something with the hands, which can be linked like so, or like this, or like that, or sometimes just helping one wrist or another. That can be useful too, to maintain comfort, reduce pain, etc. So I'm just going to show you the exercise from a couple of angles, and from here, hopefully I'm absolutely exactly in front of the camera. And what you'll be able to see is that the nose is dead center. Most people with some form of brain injury or illness, stroke, etc., head injury, are likely to be a little bit off center when they're trying to stand up, which just makes it very inefficient. So nose, chin in a nice straight line that drops to the floor exactly halfway between the feet and ankles, if possible. That's the idea. It's very easily said, but it's not so easily done. Not so easily done if you can't really feel where your body is. I call it when the map is disturbed. You have a map of your body in your brain, effectively, and you use that to navigate movement. So if part of the map is disturbed or missing, it's very difficult to navigate around that area or be aware of it. So head is dead center, hopefully not tilted too much to one side, and then movement is pushing forwards so that the body weight comes centrally over feet, and it's this bit that needs to bulge forward. So I'll just show you that from another angle. So from here you can see my lower back, and that starts to arch inwards. So it's the low back and the tummy that produce the forward movement. There, I'm just going to take an arm out so that you can see my tummy a little bit. The material is a little bit dark, but the tummy bulges forwards, and it's between here and here that is your centre of gravity, you might say. So this is, whatever shape you are, whatever size you are, it doesn't matter, not a personal remark, to say that this is the heaviest part of your body, roughly represented between my two hands at the moment. So if you can control your balance from the middle, it's a lot more efficient than trying to control your balance by anchoring through one hand or two hands. Using control of the centre is a lot more efficient. So here we can get a very simple exercise going that really starts to get the weight properly over the feet. So I hope that's helpful. Do post questions, ping over little remarks. There are contact forms all over the website, so you can just write a little one-line question and I'll do my best to get back to you. Standing up and sitting down is generally quite effortless in health, and so the aim with a physiotherapy program is to try and get people back towards that point where standing is only a very, very modest effort. So knowing a few things about standing may help you, and what we can see here is that your legs are shaped, when ready to stand, in a very shallow Z shape. So this in effect is a Z-shaped spring, and standing is made easier by using that spring. Of course there's some muscle power and control and speed needed, but a lot of standing up is a skill, which is to say what we're going to do is throw our weight forwards over the top of the Z-shaped spring and compress the spring a little. So as I go to stand, one of the things that you'll be able to notice just here at the knee is as I go to stand, the knees come forward. So this angle is made sharper, as is this angle, made a little bit sharper, so I'm compressing the spring. And luckily the gristly bits that hold all the bones together are very elasticated. So if I throw a bit of weight at them, they'll do their best to throw that weight back. Then the trick is to control the weight upwards and forwards into a standing position, rather than throwing head and shoulders backwards and landing further back in the chair, which is what can happen to so many people. So if you just watch the full stand, there's a little bit of slip forwards of the knees, the Z-spring compresses, and then it's much easier to do the standing part.